So we have completed our discussion about the strategies which was adopted by Indian government to prevent the domination of one community over the other community. Okay, so which are the strategies that were adopted by the government to prevent this domination? First, the strategy of
Distancing itself
from the religion. The Indian state, it is not ruled by a religious group. Okay, and it is not giving any preference to any particular religion. In all government schools, it is not allowed to display anything to promote a particular religion. Government schools or government institutions, okay, it's not allowed to display anything to promote a particular religion. Okay, and also government school, students are not allowed to celebrate any religious festival. Okay, the students are not allowed to celebrate any religious festival. So that is, if they celebrate, it's against the policy of distancing, or the state is not giving any importance to any particular religion. Okay, the second strategy. What was the second strategy?
Strategy of non-intervention.
Strategy of non-intervention. Okay, that means non-interference. Okay, that means the government is giving some exceptions. Okay, in order to respect the religious sentiments of some particular customs and practices of particular community, the government is giving some exception. Okay, that means, children, if we drive without wearing the helmet, we'll be caught and fined by the police. But if the Sikh people, okay, the Sikh people wearing a turban, it is central to their religious custom. So in order to respect the sentiments, okay, of the Sikh people, it's not compulsory for the Sikh people to wear the helmet while they were driving, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so that means that the government is giving some exceptions. Okay, the government is giving some exceptions to some particular communities as well. And
can I share one experience, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
It was happened last day. It was my brother's birthday, so I celebrated at we celebrated at my mom's house only. There, my mom's house is a rural area. So when my grandmother gave chocolate to one person, he was saying that you should not celebrate birthday because birthdays are celebrated by Christians. So my grandmother was like, "Oh, you don't want to have chocolate. If you don't want to have chocolate, you just leave."
Birthdays were celebrated only by the Christians.
Yeah, they told like that only.
Okay. Maybe rural areas, they could have some beliefs like this, isn't it?
Maybe.
Where you are staying, Adilakshmi?
And now I'm in Irinalakuda. My mother's house is at Palakal. Palakal.
Near to Thrissur, right?
Yeah, near to Thrissur.
Okay.
There in one small village only.
They were not celebrating?
I don't know, but I've seen like many others people there celebrating birthdays. But they won't be like not very grand. They will only cut plum cake and all. And they will just give chocolate to neighbors. But only our people is like our house people is thinking forward.
Okay. Okay, that can be. Okay, maybe some people are like that. Okay, so children, the policy of non-interference means, children, the government is not interfering in some of the religious customs and practices in order to respect the religion. Okay, the religious ideas or the principles or the customs. Okay, and the third, the strategy which was adopted by the government, children, the strategy of intervention. Okay, that means, if any custom or practice, okay, which were existed in one particular community, if it violates the fundamental rights, okay, we have discussed about untouchability. So which fundamental right is being violated there?
Right to equality.
Right to equality is being violated. Okay, the lower caste people, they were termed as, they were the members of the same community, they were the same citizens of our country. Okay, but the lower caste people, they were discriminated and their fundamental right, okay, only because of untouchability, that evil practice, okay, the fundamental right, okay, is being violated. The religious sentiments or the sentiments of one particular community is being excluded. Okay, there are people, the lower caste people were excluded from the society, so they should have to enjoy all the facilities which were enjoyed by all other people. Okay, they were the same members, or they were the citizen of our country. They also the members of the same religious community, Hindu community, so they should have the chance to enjoy almost all the facilities. But the other people were being discriminated. Okay, so in such condition, the government will interfere into that situation. Okay, and what was the result?
They banned untouchability.
Oh yes, untouchability was banned. Okay, it was banned. When our constitution, it was drafted, they had given equal importance to all the section of people. Okay, all citizens. Okay, so untouchability was banned. Okay, so in some cases, the government is keeping a distance with the religion. At the same time, the government is not, sometimes it's not interfering in some of the customs and practices. Government is giving some concessions or exceptions to respect the sentiments. Okay, but at the same time, if any custom or practice, if it violates the fundamental right, okay, if it violates the fundamental rights, or if it exclude one particular section of community, or their sentiments, if it is being hurt, okay, by the same practice, okay, by any practice, in such situation, the government will interfere into such situation. But at the same time, children, the government is giving some loans. That means the all religious institutions, okay, all religious people, they can set up their own educational institutions. Okay, and also they can do whatever to promote their religion as well. Okay, so the government is supporting, at the same time, the government is supporting the religious people as well. Children, underline the sentence. The Indian Constitution grants the right to religious communities to set up their own schools and colleges. Many schools and colleges were run by many religious communities as well. Okay, there are many schools and colleges that are run by Hindu community, Hindu-based community. Christian management schools and colleges are there. Muslim-based schools and colleges are there. So the government is promoting. Okay, they do have the right to set up schools and colleges in order to promote their religion as well. Okay, and also financial aid. That means the government is providing loan in a non-preferable basis. Preferential basis means that the government is not giving any preference to any particular religion or religious people. They can set up their educational institution as well, but the government is helping them. That means the government is providing fund, okay, to set up schools and colleges of their religious ideas as well. Okay, so this is meant by the strategy of intervention. That means that to end any social practice that discriminates or exclude. Here the feelings of the lower caste people. Okay, they were being discriminated. They should have to enjoy almost all the facilities which were enjoyed by the higher caste people. Okay, so this system, untouchability, it discriminates a certain section of the people, and it also violates the fundamental rights of the citizens. So in such cases, the government will interfere into such issues in the religion. Okay, but at the same time, the government will help. Okay, also it will help the religious communities to set up their own educational institutions, schools and colleges, and also it's also provide financial aid. Okay, financial help also, I mean loans. Okay, at providing to these people to set up these institutions, these kinds of institution. Okay, is it clear, children? So these are the three strategies which are adopted by the government in order to prevent the domination. Okay, the strategy of distancing itself from the religion, the strategy of non-interference. Okay, that means the government is giving some exceptions or concessions or consideration to respect the religious sentiments. And the third,
Strategy of
intervention. Okay, that means if any custom within the religion, okay, within the religion, if it discriminate, if it violates the fundamental right, in such cases, the government will interfere into this. Okay, that is the policy or the strategy of intervention. Is it clear, Afridi? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nazrin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So shall we move on to the next point?
Yes.
Okay. So now, children, we were going to discuss about Indian secularism and American secularism. Okay. Just now we have completed, our discussion about Indian, the strategy of non-intervention and strategy of intervention also we have discussed. Okay. So the strategy of intervention means that the government will intervene. That means the government will interfere in some of the issues in the religion, isn't it, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that means Hindu religion untouchability was existed. In such cases, the government will interfere. Okay, let us see how it differ from the American secularism. Okay, children, here there is one only difference between the American and Indian secularism is, children, neither the state, okay, in America, neither the state, please underline the lines in the textbook, children, neither the state nor the religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. That means that here we have seen that Indian state is interfering in the religious matters of Hindu religion. Okay, that means it bans untouchability because it, discriminate people, isn't it? Okay, but in America, neither the government, the government will not interfere in any matters of the religion and the church, okay, or the religious people. They will also never interfere into the matters of the state. Both are independent in their own way. Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, when we compare Indian secularism with the Western secularism, with the Western secularism, we could see that, okay, the Indian secularism, which are the three principles or the three objectives of secularism? Do you remember the first 3 points which we have studied?
One religious community does not dominate
Other community. The second point?
Some members
Some members do not dominate the same members. Okay, with the same members. And what is the third one?
The state does not enforce any
Particular religion as well. Okay, not giving any importance to a particular religion as well. Okay, here, children, the American secularism, they do follow the same policies as well, but there is one and only difference, children. Here, neither the state nor religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. Both they were working as independent. That means state is not intervening in any of the religious matters of any religion. Religious people also, they were not interfering in any matters of the state or the government. Okay, nor can they give preference to any one religion. They were not giving. It is a secular democratic country, so here no religion is giving any preference. But children, they were not interfering each other. Neither the state nor the religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. Okay, but what about India? But what about Indian secularism?
They can interfere.
Ah, yes. Okay. If any custom or practice which exclude a particular section, which violates the fundamental right. Okay. If it violates any fundamental right, in such cases, the Indian government will interfere into the situation. But in America, they will not interfere with each other, with the affairs or the matters of each religious or religion or the state. Okay, it would be separate. Underline the sentence in the textbook, children, page number 24. 1 2 third paragraph. Some of the above objectives. In that paragraph, underline the sentence. Last few lines. The legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion. Did you see?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
The legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion, nor can they give any preference to one religion. In USA, the separation between the state and the religion means that neither the state, that is the point to be noted, neither the state nor religion can interfere in the affairs of one another.
Page number
24. Children, one thing I want to ask you. I forgot to. Okay, children. So, what is the difference between Indian and American secularism? Here, the Indian government will interfere, okay, in the affairs of the state, affairs of the religion. Yes, if it violates the fundamental rights, or if it exclude the religious section, or if it exclude a certain section of people as well. But in America, okay, neither the state nor the religion, okay, interfere in the affairs of one another. Both are working independently. Okay, they're also never not giving any preference to any particular religion, but both the religion and the state, okay, it works independently. Neither the religion nor the government will interfere into the matters of one another. Clear, children?
Yes.
Okay, that is the difference between Indian secularism and American secularism. Okay, and you know, children, the Indian state, we know that it's secular and it prevents religious domination. The government is trying its maximum to prevent the domination of one community over the other community. We know that the Indian constitution, the main principles are based on equality. Okay, almost all the fundamental rights, okay, fundamental rights or almost all the principles that are there in our constitution, okay, it's always try to prevent the domination or considering all as equal. Okay, they were trying to consider everyone as equal. So the Indian constitution guarantees the fundamental right that are based on the secular principle. That means all religious people are giving equal preference. Okay, any community, any religious community, whether it is minority or majority, there was not a chance, okay, is given to dominate. Okay, so the government is trying its maximum to prevent the domination of one community over the another community as well. But even though we know that here are some problems. Okay, so here the state can interfere in religious affairs, and also it's maintain a distance, okay, a distance with the religion. And this interference, when the government, if it is interfering into this religious matters, you know, children, it's based on the ideas of the constitution, because our constitution guarantees right to equality. So the fundamental rights are guaranteed in our constitution. So untouchability was banned by the government. Okay, by the government. Why it is banned? because it hurt the religious sentiments of the people. Okay, it hurt the sentiments of one section of the people. So the government is interfering in religion, but it should be based on the ideals of the constitution. Okay, what are the guidelines are there included in our constitution? Based on that ideals only, the government can interfere into that, the religious ideas. Do you remember? I want to discuss you something. Children, so that's about Shakrimala. Okay, so if the constitution is guaranteed some fundamental right as well. So if the government is interfering, children, it should be based on the
attendance.
Okay, it should be based on the ideals of the constitution. Okay, and children, despite secularism and existence of freedom of religion as a fundamental right, we know that secularism is the key feature of fundamental right. Freedom of religion, it is guaranteed, or it is a fundamental right as well. But we could not say that there is no violation of these rights in Indian society. We know it clearly. Some types of this type of violations are happening there in our society, isn't it, children? Is there all are treating us equal here in our country? No. Okay, discrimination is happening there in our country. Okay, such violations happen frequently because we need a constitutional mechanism to prevent them from happening. Okay, that means we need a constitutional mechanism. What do you mean by constitutional mechanism? We need to pass many laws to prevent such domination or discrimination, isn't it, children?
Yes.
Okay, policy of intervention. What do you mean by that? If any custom or practice, okay, if it violates the fundamental rights, okay, or it exclude one particular section of people, in such cases or in that condition, the state will interfere, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, the strategy of intervention. Okay, and what is the difference between the American secularism and Indian secularism? In America, neither the religion nor the state. Okay, neither the religion nor the state can interfere into the affairs of one another. Okay, they won't interfere on the affairs of each other. That means religion, they do not interfere into the matters of the state. The state will not interfere into the matters of the religion. They both works independently. Okay, so these all points we have discussed today. Next class we will complete this lesson. Only one more point to discuss. Then we have one more